Hari Om, let's start. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshal, Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikyamaulisphura Taranayaka Shekaram Smitamukhim Abhinavakshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Vipratim Saumyam Ratnagadastatha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्राय दाक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुदां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दाजिदेक्षणां सचरजावभाषाङ्कुशम् अशेषजनमोहिनीं अरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जवाकुसुमवासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिविरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये महेशीम् ओम पराशक्ति नमः ओम पराशक्ति नमः ओम पराशक्ति नमः Hari Om. So today we are going to go from 631 to 650. 631 to 650. Let us start. Om Divya Gandhadhyaye Namaha. Om Sindhuratilakancidaye Namaha. Om Umaye Namaha. Om Shailendratanayaye Namaha. Om Gaurye Namaha. Om Gandharvasevidaye Namaha. Om Vishwagarbhaye Namaha. Om Swarnagarbhaye Namaha. Om Avaradaye Namaha. Om Vagadishwarye Namaha. Om Dhyanagambyaye Namaha. Om Aparichedyaye Namaha. Om Jnanadaye Namaha. Om Jnanavigrahaye Namaha. Om Sarvavedanta Samvedyaye Namaha. Om Satyananda Swarupinye Namaha. Om Lopamudrachidaye Namaha. Om Leela Klipta Brahmanda Mandalaye Namaha. Om Adrishyaye Namaha. Om Drishyarahidaye Namaha. So the first name is Om Divya Gandhadhyaye Namaha. Om Divya Gandhadhyaye Namaha. So the Gandha refers to fragrance. So Divya Gandha refers to divine fragrance. So what this means is that she who is richly endowed with divine fragrance. She is endowed with divine fragrance. Now, if you remember, yesterday we covered the 4 stages of understanding the presence of God. What were those 4 stages? Those 4 stages were Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, and Sayujya.
Sayujya.
These are the 4 stages which we covered yesterday. Now, what this name means is that Devi is surrounded by divine beings and divine things and is endowed with divine fragrance. Devi is surrounded by divine beings, divine things, and endowed with divine fragrance. Now, this can mean 2 things. One is that Devi is surrounded by these things, by divine fragrance, and therefore that divine fragrance is there on Devi. Another perspective is that by the presence of Devi, who herself is Divya Gandha, she is Divya Gandha. So, you can attain that state of Sarupya. What is Sarupya? Attain similarity like that of Devi. I'll give you one example. Suppose you are going, imagine that you are going into a garden full of rose flowers or jasmine flowers. You are going into a garden full of rose flowers or jasmine flowers. That is such a beautiful smell. Even when you leave the rose or jasmine garden, that smell will remain with you. That smell will remain with you inside your nostrils. And when you think of the rose or jasmine, you will immediately associate with that garden that you visited. So that is very similar to this concept of Sarupya, and because that presence is Devi, and Devi is associated with that divine fragrance, therefore we get the opportunity to feel the presence of Devi. I'll give you one more example, a live example. If you go and get the darshan of Mata Amritanandamayi, people who have had the fortune of Amma's darshan, when you go there, there is a smell. That divine fragrance is that. That fragrance is, if I remember right, that is the smell of what is that? Marikkolundu. That is a fragrance called as Marikkolundu. That is a fragrance which is seen in, which you can smell in Tamil Nadu. That fragrance is there all around Amma. The minute you get the darshan, you come away from the darshan, that smell will linger inside you, within you. You can feel that smell. All through that smell you will feel. So that fragrance, like this, like the experience of the garden, like the experience of meeting Mata Amritanandamayi, if you are there in the presence of Devi, there is a divine fragrance that Devi stands for, and that divine fragrance is the reason why she is called Tazhambu. Yeah. That divine fragrance is why she is called Divya Gandhadya. They say that once you reach the height of Devi worship, then even the breath of the devotee becomes fragrant. Even the breath of the devotee becomes fragrant. Now there is another word, another meaning of Gandha. Gandha means bandha. Bandha or relationship or relation. So Devi is related to the entire living and non-living universe. This is actually the word, the meaning, Gandha meaning Bandha is from a Sanskrit text called Vishwa Prakasha. Sanskrit text called Vishwa Prakasha states that Gandha has another meaning which means Bandha or binding in relationship. So Devi is related to the entire living and non-living because she is the reason, she is Prakriti, she is the reason for all things that are happening. Om Divya Gandhadhyayai Namaha. 632. Om Sindura Tilakanchitayai Namaha. So for Sheilaji especially, it is Sindura. It is not Sindura. Yeah, this is Sindura. The earlier one, where you slipped, is Sindura. So that is the difference between this and that. It is Sindura Tilakanchitayai Namaha. Yeah, Sindura is vermilion. Vermilion, what we wear, this is what the ladies wear, Sindura. Yeah, Tilaka is the what you wear. Anchita means adorned, decorated or beautiful. And it is so beautiful to see ladies and even children wearing the Sindura. How many children here are wearing the Sindura? Where is yours? Where are yours? The ladies, all the girls. Where is your Sindura? Go quickly find one and come back. Quickly, run and find one and come back. Yeah. So, Sindura Tilakanchitayai Namaha. So, she who shines with a vermilion mark on her forehead. She who is decorated with that special paste made of vermilion. So that is what this refers to. So she is most beautiful with that Sindura which is there, which is seen on her forehead. What does this Sindura represent? Especially when it is when a woman is wearing it, this is referring to a Saubhagya or Saubhagyavati or Sumangali, somebody who is married. So this is, and when the Sumangali perspective comes, what this also means is that she is the eternal consort of Lord Shiva. She is the eternal consort of Lord Shiva. So that is what the Sindura refers to. And where is this place? This is placed at the Agnya Chakra, not somewhere on the forehead. It is placed at the Agnya Chakra, which basically means that the Divine Mother is the source of wisdom. Divine Mother is the source of wisdom. So this is what this means. Sindura Tilakanchitayai Namaha. 633. Om Umayai Namaha. Om Umayai Namaha. Uma, the word Uma has several meanings. We are going to go through most of the meanings. Some of the meanings we'll probably have to skip due to shortage of time, but we'll cover most of the main meanings. Now, Uma can be said to represent Om. Uma can be said to represent Om. Now, Uma is also the divine energy that helps the seeker experience the bliss of Atman. Another meaning of Uma is she who is Parvati Devi. That is the main meaning. She who is Parvati Devi. Uma is another name for Parvati Devi. So she who is Parvati Devi. Now, if you split that Uma as U and Ma, U refers to Shiva and Ma refers to Lakshmi. So Shiva is consciousness and Lakshmi is Shakti. So if you are referring to Uma or you write the word Uma, that means Uma is the combination of Shiva and Lakshmi or Shiva and Shakti. So when this combination happens, what this means is that happiness, prosperity complement each other, and Devi grants this to whoever is pursuing or praying to Devi as Uma, which is called as the cosmic couple. Uma represents the cosmic couple of Shiva and Shakti. So that is what this is referred to here. Now, there is another further meaning of Uma. U is again Shiva, and Ma is one who measures. Ma means somebody who is actually measuring. Now, if you look at Shiva is immeasurable. Shiva cannot be measured. But Shakti is a mirror. Shakti is a mirror. And when Shakti as the mirror shows the mirror to Shiva, immediately the immeasurable concept of Shiva becomes measurable. Immeasurable concept of Shiva becomes measurable. So this is probably the limitation of Lord Shiva. Yeah. So that's when he becomes a finite form. When Shakti shows the mirror to Lord Shiva, Shiva from the immeasurable form becomes a finite form. And because the entity that measures is greater than the measured. Who is being measured here? The person who is being measured here is Lord Shiva. And who is measuring? Shakti. Devi is measuring. So therefore, and the other point is that in this context is that she is Ardhanari. She is Ardhanari. And because she is Ardhanari, she is proving to Lord Shiva that she is the inseparable half and holds the essence in herself. She is the inseparable half of Lord Shiva and she holds the essence in herself. In other words, Devi is the essence of Lord Shiva, and because she measures Shiva as Ma, she measures U, and therefore she is called as Uma. So this is the way the name Uma is also called. Further meanings: Uma means red, it means vermilion, it means fame, it means radiance. These are all the several meanings of Uma. Now there is a further meaning which is in Kumar Sambhava. Kalidasa says that the wife of Himavat dissuaded Parvati from embarking on a penance. And what did he say? He said, "U ma, oh, do not attempt penance or do not attempt penance." And that Parvati got the name Uma because of this. So this is another meaning of Uma. Now Uma also means Induleka. What is Induleka? Induleka is actually a subtle energy point inside the body. It also means the crescent of the moon. And what does this Induleka do? This Induleka is that which causes transition between the states of waking and sleeping. When you are waking and sleeping and waking, that transition is caused by Induleka. So instead of sleeping in the night at 12 o'clock and waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm telling all the young children, sleeping in the night at 12 o'clock and waking up in the morning at 10 o'clock, sleep in the night on time, wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock and come for yoga class. Okay? Hello? Good morning. Wake up. Come in the morning for yoga class. So I look forward to see all the children who are there here. There are 3 children, Aditi, Vaishnavi and Aditi. 4 children. Shubhika also. Yeah. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to see all 4 young children coming for the class. Okay, I'm going to look for you people in the class. Why is that happening? Because of Uma. Because of Uma. So when you think of Uma, in the morning, tomorrow morning, without alarm, wake up. Without alarm, wake up, and she is the person who is responsible for bringing you from the sleep state to the waking state. So Parvati Devi, Uma is the person who is waking you up, wake up. Okay. Uma also stands for a girl of 6 years. During this Kumari Puja or the Kanya Puja, a girl of 6 years is called Uma. So these are the several meanings of that one simple name of Devi. Om Umayai Namaha. 634. Om Shailendra Tanayayai Namaha. Shailendra Tanayayai Namaha. So Shaila means maintain. Indra is referring to the king, ruler or lord. Shaile and Tanaya is daughter. So she who is the daughter of the king of the mountains. Shaila means mountain. So this is she is the she is the daughter of Himavat, the king of mountains. That is what this is, which is similar to what we understood in the previous name as well. Now there is a further meaning to this. So in this, the word Shailendra Tanaya is split as Shaila, Indrata and Naya. So in this again, the Indra represents lordship, supreme sovereignty and control over, or whatever. That is what this is referring to. Control over what? Control over one's indriyas. And Naya is referring to the capability of guiding or directing. So Indrata is guided. So what this refers to is that she is the person who is able to have extreme control over one's indriyas, is able to control one's indriyas. So this is the name which is referred to here, Shailendra Tanayayai Namaha. 635. Om Gauryai Namaha. Gauryai Namaha. So she who has a fair complexion, is called as Gauri. Name is called as Gauri. Now one who has a golden color, is called Gauri. Now there is this, what they say is that Parvati had a dark skin, and Parvati washed away her dark skin by taking bath in the Ganges. In the Ganges, yeah. So Devi burnt herself in the fire of yoga, was reborn as the daughter of Himalaya with the color of the conch, jasmine and the moon. So this color of the conch, jasmine and the moon put together is called as Gauri. That color, that complexion is called as Gauri. Gauri is the deity in a temple in a place called Kanauj. In Kanauj, the deity is called Gauri. There are other references to Gauri as well. Varuna's wife. Varuna is the god of oceans. Varuna's wife is also known as Gauri. And in the Kumari Puja cycle, a 10-year-old girl is called as Gauri as well. These are the different meanings of the word Gauri. 636. Om Gandharva Sevidayai Namaha. Om Gandharva Sevidayai Namaha. So she who is served by the Gandharvas. So who are the Gandharvas? Gandharvas are celestial beings, and these Gandharvas are extremely well versed in the science of music. That science of music is called Gandharva Vidya or Gandharva Veda. It's called Gandharva Vidya or Gandharva Veda. So Devi is worshipped by great musicians, especially during Navaratri. Navaratri is the time where there is an abhisheka of music. There's an abhisheka of music during the Navaratri time. Yeah. Now there is another meaning of Gandharva. Gandharva also means horse or Ashwa. It is another meaning of Gandharva. So what this meaning Gandharva Sevita means that Devi is drawn by 1,000,000 horses. She is drawn by 1,000,000 horses, and the horses are commanded by Ashwaruda Devi. Ashwaruda Devi. So that is basically Devi is called as Ashwaruda. Then there is a further meaning of Gandharva. Further meaning of Gandharva is that it refers to the sun. So what the word actually means is that Gandharva is a deity in high heavens closely associated with the sun. And because that deity is in the high heavens and closely associated with the sun, it is only the sun. So Devi who is worshipped by the sun, and therefore she is called as Gandharva Sevidaye Namaha. 637. Om Vishwagarbhaye Namaha. Vishwagarbhaye Namaha. So that is very understandable. She who contains the whole universe in her womb. She is Garbha with the word, which is Vishwa. So this aspect refers to the aspect of the entire universe, and that the entire universe emerged from her womb, from Devi's womb. So therefore she is the mother of the universe. She is the mother of the universe. Now the point to remember is that the universe, or Vishwa in this case, it is not just created by her, but it is created from her. Slight, subtle but important difference. It is not created by her, but it is her amsha that is going into it. It is created from her. So that is the fact that we should keep in mind. The next one, Swarnagarbhaye Namaha. Om Swarnagarbhaye Namaha. So she who has, the literal meaning is she who has a golden womb. A golden womb. That is Swarnagarbha. Garbha is again referring to the womb. She who has a golden womb. Further meaning is that she is the cause of the universe. Now, from this point of view, we can say that Devi holds the entire universe as pure golden energy before releasing it into manifestation. Before the universe is actually manifested, the entire universe is held together as pure golden energy. Now this Swarna is also an indication to the Vedas, and all sacred mantras. So what this means is that she holds the Vedas and the sacred mantras within her and releases this into the universe when the manifestation happens. So that is what this refers to, Swarnagarbhaye Namaha. 639. Om Avaradaye Namaha. Om Avaradaye Namaha. What this means is that Avara is referring to unholy being. Avara refers to unholy being, and basically one of a demonic nature. We are also having some amount of demonic nature inside us. I've always talked about it. We have 100 Kauravas and 5 Panchapandavas within us. It is for us to ensure that the Panchapandavas are more powerful and the 100 Kauravas, 100 ways in which we can destroy ourselves, become weaker. Work to ensure that your Panchapandavas become much stronger and much more powerful than the 100 Kauravas, which are waiting to become more powerful and bring us down. So let us work towards that. So Avara is an unholy being, one of demonic nature. Now, the word da means both giving or cutting. It can mean both. So what this means is that she who destroys the unholy people or the asuras is the literal meaning of this particular name. Avarada refers to a person who destroys the unholy or asuras in this case. Now, further meaning, Ava means shining, and Radha is referring to the teeth. So Avarada basically can refer to Devi who has perfect shining teeth. There is a reference to this in one of the earlier names as well, if you remember. Then a further meaning is that of a Varada. When you split the name separate in another way, it is a Varada. Varada is meaning a person who gives or grants boons. A person who grants boons. So a Varada can be a person who does not grant boons. Who does not grant boons. Now, why is Devi called as a Varada in this particular case? What this means is that she bestows boons on people as per your suitability, which means there is no instant gratification. So you say, okay, Devi, I'm praying to you, I want this now. So then Devi will look at the book and say, okay, what is this person? This is Manoj. He's done this, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this, he's done these things wrong. So you will not get this boon. You will get only this much. You are asking for this much, you will get only this much. So you will get only as per your entitlement. As per your entitlement. There is no instant gratification. She withholds harmful distraction and gives only when the devotee is ready. Only when the devotee is ready. So that is why she is called as Avarada. Meaning that you can't go and say, Devi, abhi chahiye, abhi ka abhi. Nahi milega. You will not get it. Pray, make sure that you are ready for it. They say that, for grace to happen, you should have a receptacle. You should have a receptacle. You should be ready to accept that grace. It also goes back to science, potential energy. For potential energy to happen, you should have one level which is lower and the other level which is higher. When the higher level, only when you have a lower level, will that higher level be able to flow grace into the lower level. That also goes into the aspect of ego. Only when ego leaves the body will there be grace coming in. Because when ego is there inside the body, it means you are so full of what? You are so full of yourself. When ego is there inside the body, you are so full of yourself. When you are so full of yourself, how can Devi come there? Devi cannot come there. Devi will say, I have no space inside you. When I have no space inside you, how can I come inside you? So that is why they say that in order for grace to happen, in order for Devi, for Avarada Devi to give me the Varada, I should first learn to empty myself. I should first learn to empty myself. Empty myself of what? Of my ego, of all my negativities, take all my Kauravas out and prepare my body for accepting divine grace which is coming from Devi. So only when you are ready for that, Devi will grant the boons as per your vasanas. 640. Vagadishwari. What a beautiful name. Vagadishwaryai Namaha. Vagadishwari, which is basically she who presides over Vag, which is speech. Devi is Saraswati, the goddess of speech. Very simple one, but very profound in my opinion. 641. Om Dhyana Gamyaye Namaha. Om Dhyana, the Dhya. Om Dhyana Gamyaye Namaha. So, in this, Gamya means attained. Dhyana means meditation. So, Devi is to be attained through meditation. Devi is beyond the senses. She is well beyond the senses. So, she cannot be seen by external eyes. The only way that you can experience or manifest Devi is through meditation. So, they say that engaged in meditation, the rishis saw the divine self hidden in its own gunas. So that is the way they were able to realize the presence of Devi within themselves. 642. Om Aparichedhyaye Namaha. Om Aparichedhyaye Namaha. So what this means is that she whose limits cannot be ascertained, she who is unlimited. So there is no end, there is no border. and only things that are created can be measured. Devi is beyond time, beyond space, and is the cause of all creation. She is unlimited and immeasurable. Unlimited, immeasurable. Now, in fact, what paricheda means, this the word is called aparicheda, which means she is not paricheda. So, paricheda means limit, boundary, division, chapter of book. These are the several meanings of the word paricheda. This paricheda are several types of paricheda. You've got the desha, you've got the kala, and you've got the vastu. So desha is limitation of space, kala is the limitation of time, vastu paricheda is the limitation of objects or form. Devi is aparicheda, which means she has no limit of space, she has no limit of time, she has no limit of objects or form. So just imagine, just for a minute, just even if you close your eyes and picturize Devi, and all that you can perceive and imagine is just Devi in all the magnificence right across. It's like sitting in front of a 70 screen. I don't know if you've had the fortune or experience of sitting in front of a 70 screen right in the front row, not in the back row, right in the front row. You're sitting in front of a 70 screen, and you close your eyes, open your eyes, and you have such a big screen, immeasurable. Immeasurable. I will tell you more about the 70 screen after this aspect, because we are still in the spiritual perspective. I have to talk about the movie experience after this one. 643. Om Jnanadaye Namaha. Jnanadaye Namaha. The name is Jnanada. She who gives knowledge of the self. She who gives knowledge of the self. Now, only through the grace of Devi, who's Devi? Devi is Shakti. Can living beings attain supreme knowledge which destroys the sorrow of samsara. You have to go beyond samsara, you need that knowledge. Only through the grace of Devi, who is pleased by devotion, can one attain final liberation, and that liberation is unlimited in the form of knowledge, truth and bliss. Form of knowledge, truth and bliss. 644. Om Jnana Vigrahaye Namaha. Vigraha basically refers to form, body, personification or manifestation. The literal meaning is that she who is the embodiment of knowledge itself. She is knowledge herself. Yeah. Then, if you go further into this particular name, what this means is that Devi is knowledge. The entire body of Devi is knowledge, and that is made of pure consciousness and knowledge, and therefore she can give herself. She can give herself. She can only give her own knowledge, her own part of herself, and that is what this is referring to. Vigraha, there is another implication of Vigraha, which means known through special means. Known through special purpose means, a special, what they say, special purpose vehicle. So through special means. So what this means is that, so from that perspective, this means that she who is the knowledge that is obtained through special means. What is the special means referred to here? The special means referred to here is the Sri Vidya meditation or Sri Vidya worship. That is the only way in which we will be able to understand and experience and manifest Devi. Jnana Vigrahaye Namaha. 645. Om Sarva Vedanta Samvedyaye Namaha. Sarva Vedanta Samvedya. Samvedya means realized or understood by. Sarva Vedanta refers to all of Vedanta. She who is known by all of Vedanta. The inner essence. There is if you remember, we have referred to Vedas as Shruti. So the Shruti always says that the inner essence of all Vedas is Devi. Also, she is the main person who makes this known to us. Devi herself says that Shruti is Devi. Devi herself has said it. So Devi is the object of logic and that of Vedanta. Therefore, she is called as Sarva Vedanta Samvedya. Sarva Vedanta Samvedyaye Namaha. 646. Om Satyananda Swarupinyai Namaha. Satya Ananda Swarupinyai Namaha. Satya is referring to truth. Ananda is bliss. Yeah, Swarupini. Now there is a further split of Sat and Ya. Sat is referring to prana and Ya is referring to the sun. So Devi is the sun who is the life force, the prana of all beings. Without the sun, survival is not possible. Surya Namaskar is your way of expressing your gratitude to the sun. When the sun is there, the prana will exist. So Devi is the sun on the basis of which the life force or the prana of all beings survives. So she is the basis of all living beings. Then there is another perspective, which is that Satya is that which does not change with time. Satya is not time dependent. Satya is the same whether it is now or tomorrow or after 1 year or 10 years. So there is no change in terms of Satya. Yeah. Then the other aspect is that of Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda, with this, which is truth, consciousness, and bliss. So Divine Mother is non-dual blissful reality. So that is what this refers to. Satya Ananda Surupa or Satyananda Surupayai Namaha. 647. Om Lopa Mudrarchitayai Namaha. Lopa Mudrarchitayai Namaha refers to Lopa Mudra Archita. Lopa Mudra Archita. Archita means worshipped. So she is worshipped by Lopa Mudra. Who is Lopa Mudra? Lopa Mudra is the wife of sage Agastya. Agastya Muni's wife is Lopa Mudra. So she worshipped Devi using the Panchadashi mantra, and she by virtue of worshipping Devi, she was able to perceive the presence of Devi. So that is why Lopa Mudrarchitaye Namah, she was worshipped by Devi. Now that word Lopa Mudra, you can split that word. Lopa refers to absence of. Mud refers to pure bliss. Ra means receiving. So what this means is that only when the trivial pleasures and ego are dissolved is Devi realized. So Lopa Mudrarchita means that the Devi who is worshipped by the yogins who wish to reach the infinite bliss have to discard all trivial worldly pleasures. That goes back to what we were turning around and asking probably a couple of weeks back, which is the question, why do all these brahmacharis and all these yogis, all these people, all the spiritually elevated people even bother to go down this route of trying to discover Devi or go down the path of spirituality, when they can have a normal life, what we call as a grihastha life, get married, have children? What is it that they are experiencing which a normal person cannot experience? The bliss offered by experiencing Devi, the bliss offered by meditation, the bliss offered by constant remembrance of God and being in tune with God is unmatched. So there is no comparison between that to what one can experience as part of married life. So it is because of such people that Sanatana Dharma is still alive. It is because of such people that we are able to sit here and even discuss about Sanatana Dharma. So even for a minute, pray and thank all those people for keeping all of our values and all aspects related to Sanatana Dharma alive. Even for a minute, if you can just think of that and express our gratitude to all those people. 648. Om Leela Klipta Brahmanda Mandalaye Namaha. She who has created and maintained the universe purely as a sport. Klipta means created. Brahmanda is referring to the universe. Mandala, group. Leela is referring to a sport. She's having fun. Devi is having fun. How is she having fun? She is created, maintained the universe purely as a sport. Purely as a sport. It is just one of her many countless leelas. So the explanation is this: how well defined and firm is the organization of Devi's universe. It's a machine created by the greatest. Generally, even if you have a machine which is created by the greatest expert, whatever machine is there created by the greatest expert, over a period of time, that machine becomes outdated. It becomes obsolete. It becomes outdated. It becomes spoiled. It needs maintenance. It needs maintenance. Now, Devi has, with a lot of precision and with a lot of diversity, she's put together this cosmic machine consisting of the sun, the moon, the millions of stars, the towering mountains and vast oceans which keep on working. And all this is created as a sport. When did we see this reset happen? This reset happened during COVID. When man started destroying all of this by making more buildings. I am in the construction industry, so I want more buildings happening. So please excuse me there. But if you look at the aspect related to the fact that we have destroyed nature, we have done so many things to abuse nature, Devi did a wonderful reset. Wonderful reset. And when that wonderful reset happened, everything slowly came back. We even had a situation where in Shabarimala, we could see tigers roaming around freely. Tigers are roaming around freely, elephants are moving around happily. All these things were happening during COVID. So this was the wonderful reset that happened to bring nature back to normal. And that was also Devi's Leela. That was also Devi's Leela. So what is said about creation also equally applies to the maintenance and dissolution of this machine. At some point in time, that dissolution also has to happen, where what she is created and maintained, she has to destroy. She has to destroy. So she puts together the cosmos and guards it, and she can also take it apart. She can take it apart piece by piece. So there is a saying that, oh Mother, even Shiva is powerless to create, protect and destroy Brahma, Vishnu and other devas. But to you, governing this universe is just a Leela. It's a back of the palm game for Devi. Such a simple thing for her. Yeah. And don't forget that for Devi to get something done, all she has is to look at Shiva. Just that one look and it's done. How wonderful. Madhuramaya Natakatta Sapnam. So, at home. Yeah. So, Adrishya. Om Adrishyaye Namaha. She who is not perceived by the sense organs. Only that which is of the nature of the three gunas is subject to the senses. Devi is gunatita. She is atita. She is beyond the gunas. So therefore, she cannot be perceived through the senses. So that is what the sources say, that your form without qualities is not seen by the eyes. The Shakti that is beyond the gunas is not easily reached. That is what this is referred to as. She is Adrishya. You cannot see her. 650. Om Drishya Rahitaye Namaha. She who has nothing to see, she doesn't want to see anything. One needs to see only the things that are distinct from one's self. Devi needs to see only that which is distinct from Devi, which is different from Devi. When Devi is everything and everything is inside Devi, what does she need to see? She does not need to see anything because everything is Devi herself. So there is no manifestation which is separate from her. There is no manifestation of Devi which is separate from her. There is nothing of any kind that is different from Devi, and thus she has nothing to see. Drishya means the visible things in the universe which are impermanent. So Devi is not one of those things. So what this means is that Devi is eternal or imperishable. Devi is eternal or imperishable. This brings us to the end of today's discussion. I offer these words at the lotus feet of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Karacharana Gradam va Kayajam Karmajam va Shravananayanajam va Manasam va Paradam Vidam Avidam va Sarvamedakshamasva. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.